Hello, Seka. Why are you here so often? Like, I don't see you for months, and then now you just come back like every day.
Well, it's because I can finally play Zhao again. You know, Staff of Homa and all that.
I hope you get shafted with the elegy, bro. I hope you get the elegy.
I'll just use it on my Venti then. I don't even care. I mean, honestly, elegy's fine.
Bro, I can taste your copium from here!
Yeah.
It's not copium. Honestly, elegy for the end is amazing for free to play.
You're just saying that just in case you don't get the Homa.
I would never do that. Never.
All right. So now we're going to get into the brand new shop. And this is funny. My router got turned off the exact second the shop turned on reset. So now I had to wait. So we're back. All right. So the brand new shop for Asia just went live, and the new shop has, drum roll please, Bennett and Lisa. Big claps. Bennett, Lisa. Big pog. Bennett, Lisa. All right, everyone knew this was coming, of course. So Bennett and Lisa, super, super nice. And as you can tell, yes, I do have C6 Bennett on my Asia server account. Yes, I do. So Bennett, by the way, super nice. Super, super nice character to have. One of the best characters in Genshin. I will talk about Bennett first. If you are a player that just started out Genshin Impact and you do not have Bennett yet, buy Bennett out of the shop. Only at C0 do you buy Bennett, okay? Do not buy Bennett at all out of the shop unless you don't have Bennett. Here's the caveat to that, okay? There's a caveat. Constellations for Bennett, a lot of people want to talk about them. Constellation 1 is possibly one of the most overhyped constellations out there. Essentially, what it does is it makes it so that Bennett will heal all the time up to 70% HP, but the attack buff will actually work below 70%. And the thing with that is the attack buff working below 70% doesn't actually improve your DPS by leaps and bounds, because most times you're not going to actually need that damage increase, but it does help some of the time. So there's about 10% of situations where you're actually going to be below that 70% threshold and getting the damage boost that you need, but most of the time it's not going to be that beneficial. The thing that's really powerful about the C1 though is it actually provides an extra 20% of Bennett's base attack, which is pretty much equivalent of getting 3 talent levels. So the thing that C1 that's super powerful is the 20% extra base attack, not so much the HP restriction stuff. So that part is very nice. It's equivalent to about C5 as far as damage increase goes. C2 is one of my favorite constellations for him, very good for him, and then C4 is completely useless for 99% of situations, so don't bother with C4. C6 Bennett, I will talk about this as well, but before we get into it, before you consider buying Bennett constellations out of the shop, my thought here is don't. The main reason you don't want to buy Bennett constellations out of the shop, okay, is this time around it is super not worth doing. The main reason for that is because of the banner history. If you look at the banner history, the last time that we actually received a Bennett was the first time was on the Albedo banner, the second time was on the Kaching banner, the third time was on the Kazuha banner, and that was back in June. So the character that is most likely to come out next for Pyro based upon the past banner history is Bennett. Bennett is the long overdue character, and as you can see, Yanfei, Xinyan, and Zhangling are actually all ran at least one time before Bennett. So you can see Yanfei, Xinyan, Zhangling, and then Yanfei again, and Tomag again. So the next banner with a Pyro character on it is going to be Bennett. So Bennett will come out within the next 2 to 3 months, no matter what. So if you're considering buying Bennett, within the next 3 banners, I will say this, Bennett will arrive back to Genshin in the next 3 banners. So if you're looking to summon for constellations for Bennett, you can get those constellations on other banners. In addition, buying constellations for Bennett eventually can get to this point where you're just wasting 29 of the 34 Starglitter that you're actually getting. Essentially, you're just wasting Starglitter and hemorrhaging Starglitter back. So that's what happens when you go for it long term. Next month in the shop should be Kaya as well as Barbara. So if you're thinking about picking up a constellation for a character, the number 1 character to pick up a constellation for is next month, which is going to be Kaya. So again, if you don't have Bennett, pick up Bennett. It's very worth getting. Super, super good character. If you don't have him, definitely pick him up. But you do not need to pick up constellations for Bennett out of the Starglitter shop. They are not worth getting. I've done it once because I caved for a C3 Bennett, I think, because I was like, I don't want to wait for months to get the Bennett constellations, which I regret on doing on my free-to-play account because I actually didn't get any real benefit out of it. Now that Bennett's going to be coming back around fairly soon in the next few months, you should stop summoning for character banner pity and try to get that next Bennett copy that you can coming up. The other thing you could be using Starglitter on, of course, is Blackcliff weapons, which are good for your Ayaka for the Blackcliff longsword. You could be using this for Kaya, of course. You can use Blackcliff Slasher for potentially your only crit damage weapon for a lot of Claymore characters. But if you are a Battle Pass player, the Serpent Spine is a better option generally, so you shouldn't want to pick that up. The Blackcliff Warbow is a decent option for Ganyu. It's a better flex weapon, allows you for a lot of different weapons, things to go in the mix, as well as allows for a lot of different team transfers to happen with this weapon. The Blackcliff Agate, however, the Blackcliff Agate is a big no. Do not pick up the Blackcliff Agate ever. The Blackcliff Polearm is a great weapon for Zhao, Hu Tao, which is coming out this patch, so definitely worth picking up for Hu Tao. And the next character over here we got is Lisa. Lisa constellations you can't pick up, but she doesn't really get better at C4 or C6 until C4 or C6, and I really don't think she's a good option for most players to pick up. So I really did recommend you not pick up Lisa constellations. Okay, those are the things you don't want to pick up. Of course, as always, please make sure to pick up your 5 summons on each of the summons here, as always, to get yourself the banner summons. And you know, this time around, I got 5 summons, and I'll do some summons for you guys. I will be doing Staff of Homa summons a little bit later, in a couple days here, so make sure to pick those up. I always pick up both sides of things. Oh, what? I mean, I wanted that the whole time, actually. I actually kind of wanted that. Yeah, I totally wanted the Skyward Atlas. That was the one I wanted entirely. The funny thing enough, I actually don't have any catalysts, so it's whatever. So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine, right, chat? It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I wanted that. I wanted that. I definitely wanted that, yeah. Does anybody have some spare copium? Anyone? So remember, back to this. The thing I do recommend picking up, and I am picking this up on all of my accounts, please consider picking up Kaya constellations, okay? Kaya constellations are next month, so you probably want to save Starglitter for that. Kaya at C2 becomes insanely better for a lot of AoE content because it allows you to have a very strong sub DPS. He's actually one of the strongest sub DPS in Genshin and is on par with almost Zhangling when you get high constellations in him. Constellation 5 is a massive boost, and so is Constellation 6 for your ultimate, giving yourself 15 energy back when you do your ultimate. And you know how Zhangling gets a 40% increase in her overall duration? Well, the thing that Kaya gets is an extra icicle that surrounds your character, which allows for 4 icicles to surround you, meaning that you get a 33% damage increase on your ultimate, which is a massive bump. C6 Kaya is one of those things that you need to go for a very long-term pickup, and you need to pick up the constellations really slowly, as well as doing your base banner summons whenever you get them. But it's a really hard constellation character to pick up over long term, and you can get, if you don't pull a Kaya ever, it would take you approximately 3 years from the start point of the game to get all your Kaya constellations. But the thing is, you will probably get some Kaya constellations off base banner summons randomly when you get new characters or just new summons randomly, because it just happens that way. And I recommend that all players at least save some of their Starglitter for Kaya as a long-term pickup. But for Bennett, I expect his constellations to come up pretty soon. I think that they'll come up and the either Ito and Goru banner or potentially whatever banner comes before that. For Hu Tao specifically, if you're thinking about picking up the Staff of Homa or you don't get the Staff of Homa, the Blackcliff weapon for Hu Tao at Refine 1 is going to be better than using the Dragon's Bane for about 90% of players. The reason being is if you're not an endgame player already with a really bitchin' artifact set, or you don't have a lot of refines on your Dragon's Bane, Blackcliff is a really, really good stat stick to help your Hu Tao get yourself a lot of crit damage, to get yourself up to the crit damage ratios you need to get for the overall DPS. The problem with Dragon's Bane is a weapon that does really well if you have optimal stat ratios for crit chance and crit damage. If you don't have those, which is a lot of players, was I say 90%, the Blackcliff weapon is a very strong weapon for Hu Tao and will help you a lot for your stat line because it'll help you get to where you need to go. It's a nice stopgap weapon to help you for 4 to 5 months, whereas the Dragon's Bane is a very good endgame weapon. The problem with the Dragon's Bane, though, that you will find is that you're going to feel like your Hu Tao is very weak if you don't have, let's just say, almost 200% crit damage with a Dragon's Bane. If you're having about 250 or so with a Blackcliff weapon, that's where you start coming out really, really strong with a Blackcliff, and that's when you can start transitioning over to, let's just say, a Dragon's Bane for Hu Tao if you get yourself 3 or 4 refines on a Dragon's Bane. Okay. If you have a deathmatch is better than both early on. The last thing I'm gonna go over in this video is Blackcliff refines. Are they worth it or are they not worth it? And to be perfectly honest, if you're fully free to play, the answer is no. Do not go for Blackcliff refines. You don't get enough glitter to make it worth it. You won't have enough glitter on your account. If you are not fully free to play and you do like a battle pass and welcome player, you do get enough glitter to make it work. I started using glitter on summons because I had so much extra glitter on my Asia server account. So if you're a fully free to play player, probably you want to use them for like a Blackcliff weapon pickup, just like the one weapon, just R1. But if you're not free to play and you're like battle pass welcome, R5 of these weapons is really strong. They actually, I was doing comparisons for a Blackcliff sword versus the black sword. The Blackcliff longsword is actually better than black sword for Kaching, and there's a lot of other weapons it's better for. The 72% attack bump that you get from this is actually a very, not 60, 72, what is it? 24 times 3. Is it 72? Yeah, 72% attack bump that you get on the Blackcliff Longsword is a pretty exceptional buff, especially when you have the high base attack Blackcliff Longsword. So there are some big situations where Blackcliff can like really, really have high damage, but it doesn't always proc, and that's the issue with Blackcliff weapons. So just know that when it does proc, it's insane. When it doesn't proc, it's just okay. But that's gonna do for this video. My name's Sekapoko. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Guys, did you enjoy the video? Of course, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.